So I need to share this. I didn't have this dream this morning. It could have been either the day before, the day after the rocket dream, or it could have been part of the same dream, but I wasn't quite sure. Sorry, I'm a little nervous because I just got confirmation. So, because I didn't want to, I don't want to know these things, but okay, so the dream, okay. And this was just one little blip of part of a of a dream. Okay, like I said, but I can't remember if I had this after I dreamt the one that I just recently shared with the rockets overhead coming out of the white trailer. Because it kind of feels like it might have been part of that dream, but it was so separated from that scene that it seems like a totally different dream. But so just really quickly, I'm in my house. I walk into the living room and look out, because the way my blinds are, you can lower the top part instead of just pulling it up from the bottom. You can lower the top part. So I always have it like for privacy. I'll leave that at night so I can just, if I'm up stirring around, I can look out and see the stars, whatever. So in my dream, it's just me walking into my living room, going right to that window and looking out like I do a lot. And it's dark, it's nighttime, and it's just like a black, like midnight blue, like black sky, with, like it normally would look if it's not all covered up in it. I think I saw some stars or whatever. So it was just like a midnight sky scene, normal, okay? I didn't see the moon or clouds or anything like that, just black, like midnight blue with maybe a couple twinkling stars or something. I was like, oh, ooh, it's like a nice starry sky. I felt like, I felt like kind of happy. It was like clear, So in this dream, I felt like I got up in the middle of the night, like couldn't sleep, went out to the living room, looked out the window, and what I saw, instantly I said satellites. There was like a couple like smaller or different sized ones, like a cylinder shape, like, round and then, kind of longish or whatever. And so I automatically said satellites, but the one that drew my attention, I think this was the night after the hot winds, which was Monday night, I believe, or Tuesday night. Yeah, I believe it was. It could have been last night because that dream, yeah, it must have been Monday or Tuesday night because it wasn't the day that my son had school. My son was in school, so because this hot wind all of a sudden came out of nowhere, and I was already thinking there's going to be hot winds from the north. Okay, we have the volcanoes. Okay, so because Malkuth, the kingdom, earth in the south. So I'm like, what's earth? Volcanoes, earthquakes. And then Chesed, that's the water, that's Jesus, that's on the right, that would be the east. Okay, so water in the east, volcanoes, earthquakes in the south, fire in the west, because that's Gevura El, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Fire, that's Gebura, or Gevra, and the Tree of Life, okay? So I was just getting this vision, how it's all organized and the compass in my head when God was telling me all these things that were going to happen. And I'm like, well, Keter, ether, that would be like air, the north, So I'm like, what, like hot winds are going to melt glaciers or something if we even have those? I don't know. So these fires that I shared in the video, and then I also shared the dream about the rockets, those were not the ones why they canceled school on Monday. These were coming like from Butte County or another area, that according to the bus driver, because he's like my news, or brothers and sisters out here I watch their videos and, they'll mention like the shooting or whatever. Okay, so so when I'm looking out the window in my dream, I see this one, the biggest one, like, and it looks like they're hanging right outside my window, not like way off in the distance, just like you look out your window and like, like someone has their face smushed up and you're like, whoa, it's so close. It's like, it was like, sorry, I'm shaking the computer, but it was like right there, right when I looked out my window, I'm like, whoa, satellites. And the one that stood out the most in the foreground was, and was kind of at an angle, but I could see all the little, like a big giant turbine fan. It was like the kind that you put on the floor and you can kind of click it. It just has like a little mounting thing that it sits in, and it just is basic. It's not a box fan. It's like the ones you can tilt and stuff. So it looked like that. And it was black, and it was the biggest one. It was big. It was black. I knew it was a satellite, okay, and God showed me the other ones to show me it was a satellite or something having to do with the satellite, but to me it looked like a big black turbine floor fan, the kind that you can tilt back and forth. Because it had, like I said, it was like round, and it looked just like that kind of fan, okay, with all the little lines in the front, just like how a fan has. And then it had like little sparkly rainbow dots, like glitter stardust type. Okay, so it was black, looked like a floor fan, big turbine type, but I had the association with the satellite, okay, because that's what God put in my head. And then he showed me a couple other ones that I've seen from like, random whatever. I know I've seen satellites from, or satellites. So, from pictures, whatever, it comes across, you're watching something else and they're about space, whatever, and so they're talking about satellites or something. But I don't watch anything about NASA and this and space and all meteors, and like I said, I don't watch the news. My dreams are, anyway, stressful enough. I've mentioned before, I haven't watched the news since 9/11, so so I have the association with satellites and a fan, but because it's black and it has the okay, so the white light contains the rainbow, but black matter also contains the rainbow. That's why it's so hot, because it absorbs all colors, reflects none, because it's made up of all colors. So same with white light. So white light and black matter, okay, they both contain the rainbow. So this thing was black and it had all the rainbow. So I was thinking, even though it looked artificial, man-made, okay, there was this element of nature, okay, or God having a part of it, a hand in it, or them mimicking God, something with a divine presence or authority, or what I was kind of getting, well, and now through confirmation, is a mimicking of that, okay? So, and now let me pop this up and I'll put this in. Okay, so the night when those fires got really bad, and the next day it was really smoky and all that, I think I read that it said something about how fast the wind was, but I can't remember. But I remember the bus I was like, because I know it's all what's happening, but I go, oh, like, do you know how it started or what? Because of course, how do we ever know how unless lightning strikes, how are these fires starting? Oh, someone must have thrown a lit cigarette out the... What? Yeah, oh, yeah. We just believe whatever they tell us, right? I really have a problem with lies. That's why I don't watch TV, because I get really annoyed. I hate liars, okay? The devil, okay? He's a liar. I hate him. I cannot stand lies. So, hence I don't watch TV, the news, nothing. So the bus driver says, yeah, the winds kicked up really bad and, you know, which is why it spread so far, so fast. Okay, it was a cold, chilly day. Not too breezy. We don't get winds like that. Never hot winds, okay? These felt like if you were to open up your oven, okay? And the fires are far enough to, even when the fires were in Grass Valley, I didn't feel this hot wind thing, okay? So these fires were further away in another and so I'm thinking, I'm not going to feel hot. And a fire isn't going to create winds like that because they were really strong, gusty winds. Because all of a sudden the house was hot. I closed all the windows because it was getting cold. I didn't turn the heater on. All of a sudden it was like hot. I'm like, is Nibiru close by or something? Why is it so hot? Are we being radiated? And then I stepped outside. I think I was taking the garbage out or I don't know what I was doing. And noticed how hot it was. I was like, it felt like a dry, hot desert wind came straight from Mexico right to Little Grass Valley or something. It was very odd, very strange. Never felt that. Okay. And I've been around fires before. I've been in a fire, but that doesn't make winds, okay? It's just very, very odd with the timing of it and stuff. And I'm always like, how does a fire start unless lightning strikes? Okay, and we haven't had any thunderstorms or anything like that. And then with all the synchronicities with the number 23% contained. And then like 888 or 880 acres, which is 88. That's Jesus Christ. Just all these numbers too. Okay. But I wasn't too sure with like, the satellite thing. I was like, I know it has something to do with these hot winds. Cause I think the hot winds that's right. I think, yeah, the hot winds were first, and I remember going, just that Scooby-Doo, you know, and I don't know if I even, like, formally asked God about that. I just pretty much assumed, but he wanted me to know that specifically because I was like, I wonder what caused it, and he answered my question. I didn't even sit down and go like, hey God, you know, I really am interested in and I've been, right? I just was like, wonder what caused that, you know? Yeah, haven't seen any lightning lately. So, okay. So I'm watching, because I was told 10/11, some Paul Bagley saying something about Japan volcano erupted today and whatever. I know something's going to happen that involves missiles or something. And I already got the WW33 synchronicity with another brother who got GWW3. GW, that's my initials, and okay, I got WW33 and he got GW33 on the same day. I didn't even put that in a video. He mentioned something about that in his video, and I commented on. Okay, brother Donnell out here, so he's a dreamer too. So it says the title is NorCal Torch Fires: How the Firestorms Were Created. That title drew my attention because that, you know. And then I'll put the link below. It's this was published yesterday. This says the 11th. Today's the 12th. Apple, a planet, apples. Yeah. I just randomly flipped open to a passage in the Bible and it said something about you being a beautiful apple tree amongst the forest in the Song of Solomon. It was just anyway, I don't even care if it's evil or whatever. It was beautiful and I needed to hear those things. But And it's all about the beloved and stuff. Twin flame. A planet, no. A plain truth or a planet Ruth. Either way, a plain truth or a planet Ruth. Which I saw today in 3 things. I saw there were 3 names associated with something on this building that I walked by. Jason something. Jason's my brother's name. And then it was something Ruth. Okay, so, and then I've been watching Chuck Missler. He's been going over the Book of Ruth. Another brother talking about the Book of Ruth. And then the name Campbell, which is another brother out here. So I just, in one little sign, all these brothers, sisters, and Bible, and all in one sign. Okay, so 3 names, and each one had a synchronicity. Oh, interesting. And it's 38138 views that I'm on right now. So I will put 29:39 is the time. Okay, so I will put this link below. It's 4:34 right now. 16:16. All right. I love you guys. Yeah, I just started. I'm literally 2 minutes 57 seconds into this. I'm gonna finish watching it. Like I said, it's about a half hour. So, I mean, I'm not if you want to watch it or not. I'm just saying the synchronicity. I don't believe it was a commercial. Oh, it could have been a commercial, or he might have put it in the video. I'm not sure because it does have like a little yellow, so I can't remember if it was commercial or not. But it was for this movie Geostorm, and right off the bat they start talking about the satellites, this, that, the satellites. They mention it like 3 times, and it's Geostorm. So, because at first I'm like, is it like satellites we can't see that follow us around, like targeted? I'm like, it's got to be something with the hot wind, because it was just this big random weird anomaly that I've never experienced, and then I had the dream right after. So, because until you get confirmation, you're like, what does it mean, God? What does it mean? Okay, satellite. Are there things like satellites around us that we can't see that are, just tracking us, harassing us? What is just like demonic spirits, But no, so that's why I kind of try not to think too much about it until I'm like, oh, God will give me my confirmation. If it's important, He'll sync things up and line it up to where I'm just like, whoa, okay, like, so basically, they started the fire somehow. Okay, excuse me. There has been no rain, thunderstorms, anything like that. People around here are really mindful. They walk around barefoot to stay grounded. Throwing your cigarette butt out when we know that's not going to happen around here. Okay, that's just ludicrous to think that, and that's always like the thing I heard as a kid whenever there was a fire. I remember being in Tucson when we did have some big, and we were right in the foothills of the Catalinas, and a bunch of animals, like we had a a scorpion, big giant, like, God, I don't know how big it was. Big, huge, on the wall of the neighbor next door. We had a Gila monster, roadrunner, because all these fires in the hills from lightning strikes, and we were right in the Catalina foothills, so, right on the, golf course there, and it was a canyon, so, all the animals are coming up, and we had them all in our yard, so I do remember seeing those fires, and seeing the lightning strike, and seeing the fires happen right after, and right where they were, and so, but as a kid, like I said, there'd just be fires, and it's like, there was no lightning strike. It'd be during the summer. Okay, yeah, things catch on fire. Why? Because it's hot and dry. There has to be something to catch it on fire. It's not like the twigs are out there rubbing themselves together until they catch on fire. Come on, people. We need to, these are people's homes. Like, I've been through a fire where I lost everything. I had to go be in a hotel with my 2-month-old baby, and I saw a Texas license plate, and I saw a Florida license plate. I went on a walk and got a sandwich. Bought a sandwich for a homeless brother too, and a bag of chips and a soda and a candy bar. I wanted him to feel really good and satisfied and have all his taste buds quenched and just enjoy that. And he called me a sweetheart, and I just, that was so good. He said, "God bless you" back. And so it was a very good exchange. And 2 women in the store where, as soon as we were mentioning the fires, because I was like, I wanted to donate or get my son's school maybe to get things together so we can bring it to the fire station, get things, but seeing, and because I was praying, like, I hope these people who have been through the fires and I just pray they have at least one friend, one family member, that they don't have to go to a hotel and be alone and sad, and like, I want them to be comforted. I want them to be I wanted to do something good, like nourish someone today, and that felt really good. And it's like, I have so much, like, I have everything I need. I have so many, like, I guess I get food stamps. I have so many food stamps, I don't even know what to do with it. And they changed the amount to 333, and that's the maximum amount, and it's a federal thing, so I'm sure Trump had something to do with it. I don't know, but I don't get into politics. But I just got a notification that the amount changed to 333, so it's no coincidence. So when I saw the Texas license plate, so I went on my walk, got a sandwich, and had beautiful exchange with a brother, beautiful exchange with some sisters, and we're talking about the fire, and then I was like, yeah, it sounds like, because I don't like to push Jesus on people, I don't want to be, but I'm like, yeah, it sounds like I hear people are saying it's like God's judgment's coming down, and they're like, yeah, and then the conversation just went, then their eyes lit up, and it was like, they were all kind of like downtrodden, and then I started talking about God, and it seemed like wherever there's 2 or more, there he is. So, capital H. And so I was praying, like, I hope everyone just has at least one friend, one family, one coworker, so they can, like, just not have to be in a shelter or a hotel with having to go through all that, and then not have, like, I was just, all these people, okay? We need... These are people's lives. These are their homes, their peace, their safe place. People's lives are being turned upside down. These evil minions of Satan. And yeah, God's in control of everything. Yes, I know. But my flesh is seething with hatred for the enemy, because I've been through such horrendous things like that, and I know what it feels like to be displaced, and you become despondent, and so when I said those prayers, oh please Lord Jesus, have every single person that have suffered through these fires, just I pray that they have a coworker, a family, a friend, or someone they can stay with that can, where they can have comfort, feel safe, be around loved ones. So when I saw the Texas license plate on a car, I saw the Florida license plate, and it was no mistake that I don't see any other license plate, California or maybe Nevada, because Nevada is like 1 state over, like an hour drive from here. So when I saw those, I was just, oh, praise the Lord, thank you Jesus, because they came all the way, right, there were a couple of the smart ones, right, that left, and, but that they had people out here that said, yes, come stay with us, yes, of course, then they drove all the way out here and into welcoming arms, loving arms of family and friends, and just people who have good hearts, who care. So even if you're on welfare, food stamps, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have a car, I don't have a drug habit, I don't, you know, go to the movies, do, you know, what, nothing, really. So, you know, even though I'm on welfare, I do have a little extra to give sometimes. And especially when it comes to food, I don't eat very much and I have my one child, so it's like you know, you're probably not supposed to do that legally, whatever, but I don't care. Arrest me. But, so I encourage other people to do that. You're going to buy yourself a Starbucks or something. You know you're going to see at least one homeless person a day, probably, if you're, you know, and it's so much more, there's so much more love that flows out when you actually say, hey, what kind of sandwich do you like? You have a conversation like it's your friend, not just, I feel sorry for you, here's some money. And they might, I don't want to support their drug habit or whatever. But I know everyone needs to have food, okay? And a drink, or, you know, some chocolate, or, you know, soda, and whatever. I wasn't trying to, I just got the meal deal, made it easy, and had my sandwich, and I felt so much better having my sandwich and eating, knowing that I helped somebody else. And I'm going to do that every time I go there to get a sandwich. If I see, and I know you always see at least one homeless person everywhere you go. So you're going to go get yourself a McDonald's breakfast sandwich. You know, there's always $1 menu on it. Grab an extra hamburger or whatever for $1. Go find a homeless person and give it to them. They'll be, of course, they're hungry. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have to just, right? Because we're like, oh, that Starbucks is going to be so good when I get it, right? So tasty, right? I was thinking about this veggie sandwich I was going to get. And as I was walking, I saw another homeless man before I got to the shopping center area, but the one right before. And he was on the outside of the, you know, parking lot. So I assumed that this guy that was like in a shirt and tie and everything was actually being compassionate and kind to him and stuff, and wasn't a police officer or anything like that. So I just prayed and said, oh, please let him be, you know, loving and kind and merciful and compassionate to that man. Because you can tell that he was homeless, and it looked like he had just got his bag of food or maybe alcohol, who knows, whatever. But it seemed like maybe that guy was just nice, being nice to him. And just talking to someone like, hey, you okay? Do you got a place to stay? Do you need anything? Can I, you know, are you hungry? You know, so I was like, and even if that's not going on, I'm just going to believe that that's what's happening. And if not, I'm radiating love to them so that when they reflect back on that moment, they'll maybe come into that. But I really felt like love and compassion. So when I witnessed that, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord Jesus, for letting me be a witness to that. That felt really good. Now when I go on my walks, everything is so much. Oh my gosh, I see 333 on a license plate, and then I see 3 E's in a row, E on a license plate. Of course, but anyway. So when I got to the store where I was going, I see this young man on a bench, and it's right before I go into the store. And as I'm walking by him, I pass by him like maybe like 1 or 2 strides, and I just let the Spirit speak to me, and it said, go back and ask him what kind of sandwich he likes. Specifically, that's what it said. Like, I wonder what kind of sandwich he likes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and ask him yeah. And he was so, I loved how he was just gracious. Because I've given food to homeless people before. They have a sign begging, and I didn't have much on me. I had a banana. It had a bruise, one little bruise on it. And I had like a half a sandwich, a banana, an apple, some fig Newtons and stuff to share. And he was like, oh, no. I'm like, your sign says that you're hungry and you need food. And I just felt so rejected. Like, I don't know. I've given homeless people food before, and I just felt, I don't know. Maybe because it wasn't like, I don't know. I just had a beautiful Christmas meal, and we had like these sausages. And so I went to this creek area where all these guys go under the bridge, and I just thought they would have a beautiful meal. I had like, because all these meats and stuff, and men, and they, I was with my boyfriend. Didn't go down there by myself, but it was my boyfriend, because it was after we just had Christmas meal. I don't know, it's food. It's like, it's so abundant, we're throwing it away. It's just ridiculous that there's anyone, especially in America, that goes hungry for one meal. Okay, so I encourage you, even if you're broke, there's always something you can do. Even if you don't have money, you can just talk to the person, saying God bless you that's the way I connect with other people's hearts. And so any interaction, I usually end it with God bless you, because we have to remember to mention God or Jesus, so that when you're doing these things, it's not about doing something it's because we're going to do stuff anyway. Might as well do something that's going to make you feel good, instead of do things that you're going to regret. Okay. So I used to have sex and whatever. Now I like to do things for other people. That's how God must feel when he sees his children happy and healthy and satiated and have a loving, caring, nurturing partner, and their children being obedient. And it just must fill God with so much joy. I know I'm thinking of that in a 3D perspective, but my point is that we can always give back no matter what position we're in. It's about taking your blinders off and seeing what's going on around you, just like with all these synchronicities and all, because now your eyes are wide open. You can't be blind to anything. You can't be blind to anything. Okay. You see a mom in the store whose kids are acting out and she's getting stressed out. Instead of judging her, just say, hey mama, you're doing a good job, because I know that when I've been told that, it's like, wow, you didn't even really know that you needed to hear that until someone said that to you. So when he said God bless you and called me a sweetheart, and when I gave him that sandwich, I was just like, oh, I didn't even know how much I needed to hear that. Because lately, dealing with my son, I just feel like big, mean old bad mommy, so we're coming out of that, so that felt really good. So I wanted to share that, and the thing about the satellites with the wind and everything. Yeah, I'll put the link to this below. I'm not sure if it will play the same commercial, but it's the Geostorm commercial. I don't know if that's a brand new movie, or I'm assuming if it's a trailer on this that it must be, and this was just posted, these fires are so I'm assuming this is a brand new movie. It's called Geostorm, and they're talking about satellites. They mentioned satellites like 3 or 4 times in this commercial, in the trailer, in the beginning of this trailer. And it's called Geostorm. Okay, so all those winds, those hot winds, all these fires, it was not winds that were natural. Okay, they were created and by man under God's law. Okay, know that God is in control of everything, and he can use good or evil, both combine to get his goals accomplished. Okay, there is rhyme and reason to it. We don't have to understand it. Okay, but just know that it does have something to do with satellites, because I got that in my dream, and I just got confirmation right here. And just give back in any way that you can. Something that I wrote, and I've shared it in comments on Facebook over the years and everything, is this. infect with love, and spread your truth like a disease. Right? So we like to gossip and spread rumors and everything and drama, and right? If you're going to infect with something, infect with love. If you're going to spread diseases, let it be the disease of truth. So, I love you all. Peace be upon you all, and blessings to each and every one of you.